that is Group B, and we've been seeing our first game from Group B as we head into this tournament now. So, Ettorito versus Tiamat PW is our very first game, and it's special for a very good reason. This game has happened before.
And it was exactly what you kind of want to see. We've spoke about Ettorito being a goal-scoring powerhouse. 10 goals in the opening game. He won his final by scoring 5 goals against an opponent. But despite being that goal-scoring threat, he lost.
He lost to Tiamat, yeah. I mean, the only game he lost in the whole of the build-up to that, you know, in the whole of the actual regional finals. And it's our first, it's the one that we were looking for when it got brought out, the groups were drawn. And it'd be so interesting to see whether he's learnt from that and then can go one step further, or maybe Tiamat is the man who is there to stop Ettorito.
Well, we'll certainly find out. I mean, Ettorito right now is probably sitting there going, you know what, that was my only speed bump in the entire tournament last time, and I'm hitting it first out of the gates. Do you think it's playing any kind of mental tricks on him at all?
Well, we did touch on the mental side of the game when we obviously do the bi-weekly PESLeague live. It's so important, especially at the big stage, that they can kind of focus and not allow people, the opposite player, to actually influence how they play their game. But I mean, so much can change within a match, can't it, Graham?
Yeah, massively. And the thing to keep in mind as well is you can technically give away a game in the group stages. So if Ettorito does have a little bit of doubt that Tiamat might be able to do him again, then facing him in the group is exactly where he would want to be. So perhaps that's a good thing for him. If he uses that game as his bye game, let's call it, then he still has 2 games to cement his place in the knockouts, where he's not going to be facing Tiamat until very far on into the tournament.
Yeah, I think that's probably what he's hoping for. I mean, either of these two players, we know that, you know, Tiamat took down Ettorito last time. So Tiamat's going to be feeling pretty confident knowing that Ettorito won at Anfield. So he's going to be coming in this tournament quite hard. It's actually more daunting maybe for the other players in that group, knowing that you've got to face either of these players later on. If you're playing Ettorito, there's no way you will not have heard of this player coming into this tournament. He was all the rage at Anfield. We know how big his score lines were.
We did touch on so many times how many goals he was scoring. I think if someone can find a way of nullifying that, then we'd all love to see it, because I mean, he just scored goals for fun in that regional finals. But you've got to, you can't discount Joe, for example, from the Asia regional finals. Another very, very difficult regional to win. You know, he finished second, I think. Yeah. So you know, to qualify for that was an incredible achievement. And who else was in the group, Graham? I'm just going to test you now.
I want to come back to Tiamat. The fact that Tiamat as well, I mean, we kind of almost have glossed over him there. And talking about Ettorito's goal threat, Tiamat qualified through the rest of Europe group, which he's a French player, which is a very, very strong league. But France is bundled in with the rest of Europe, so Tiamat has a bunch of other nations to qualify. So that's a very, very difficult ladder to get here, so he has something. The fact that he beat Ettorito is not just the only notch on his belt.
Yeah, so. Obviously, it was, like I said, it was so hard to get there in the first place.
Yeah, it most certainly was. And for me, I'm kind of curious now about the chances of these two going forward as well, but also that direct matchup. Tiamat versus Ettorito. Now, we know last time this happened, Tiamat took it. Are we expecting anything different here? Or are we thinking maybe Ettorito, was it a blip? Was it a fluke? Or is it par for the course?
Are you trying to ask for a prediction here?
Not yet, not yet.
Because I've got 2 and 2, I'll have you know.
Oh, my God. Here we go again. Adam and his great predictions. Your actual record
If you want to hashtag the predictor, you can do that.
3 out of 23, or something silly like that, is your actual prediction record.
You're only as good as your last prediction, and mine's 100%, so...
Right. Well, moving swiftly on from your predictions. No, I just want to kind of touch base on where you guys think they are in relative kind of position to each other now. Ettorito, obviously, he was the winner at Anfield. Tiamat did come through the rest of the world, but who do you think's got the edge in this game?
It's going to be interesting to see whether... Because we mentioned at our previous regional finals how that first game in the group is so important to get a good start, to get the 3 points on the board, but it's going to be interesting because I'm not sure whether... I'm tempted to think it's going to be cagey, but at the same time, knowing how freely Ettorito scores goals... Graham?
No, I think it's going to be high-flying. So they're going to come out of the blocks, and we're going to see goals within the first 10 minutes. I would be highly surprised if we don't see at least 4 goals in the first half, just because of the way these guys play. And just to answer your previous question as well, by the way, Pablo Leonel, the Argentinian player, we haven't really touched on him, just because the immensity of Ettorito.
Well, let's move on to that then, because we have got to kind of determine how this group goes down. Ettorito, Tiamat, Pablo Leonel, and Joe. Who have we got our strong feelings on that are going to come top out this group?
We mentioned that sort of unknown prospect that both the Americas and the Asian players bring to us in Europe at least. Obviously, we get to see the European players on a daily basis, but I have to go with the guy that's on the screen now, Ettorito, previous world champion. He won the UEFA Youth League tournament in 2014, previous world finalist in 2014 as well, and just because of his goal scoring threat, I think
carry on. I was just going to say, I'm really excited to see how Pablo, Lionel and Joe actually respond to this sort of, because we are at the moment kind of bigging Ettorito and Tiamat, but I am not for 1 second discounting the talents of Pablo, Lionel and Joe. It's just going to be fascinating to see how they actually cope with this European threat.
Just to back up your point there, you mentioned in the fact that it's kind of all against Ettorito now. He has the point to prove.
He's the pressure now.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw that in the UEFA Champions League Festival in Lisbon just a few years ago, where he was, I mean, he did well in the World Finals shortly after that, but in that event in Lisbon, it was kind of, everyone expected him. He'd won an event already a few weeks before, but it was all to play for there. It didn't work for him.
All right, well, it looks like this game is more or less ready to get underway. Quick predictions from both of you.
Ettorito for me for this one. Or a draw or a loss. No, I'm joking. Ettorito.
I'm going to go for a high-scoring draw.
A high-scoring draw. All right, well, this game is ready to get underway, so I'm going to hand it over to you two to bring all the action to the...
So, obviously, kicking from left to right, we have Ettorito, and right to left is Tiamat, the man from France, versus the man from Italy. And it is Ettorito who has the early possession, as Iniesta tries to play it through, looking for Vidal on this right-hand side. Plays it forward towards Lionel Messi, and it's intercepted. Graham, how do you think goals, don't you, early doors?
Yeah, I said at least a goal before the first 10 minutes. Probably
You're halfway there already.
Maybe I'm wrong a little bit on that one, but you know, it's good to start positively, and both players are doing that very scrappy, very intercepting play, and that's exactly what we want to see at this point.
So Vidal on this right-hand side, challenged by Rakitic, but manages to skip away from that challenge. Now plays it inside, good interception. It's a very cagey affair so far, no real chances in the opening 7 minutes here at the home of Arsenal Football Club. We are live from as the ball gets played through towards Lionel Messi, in towards
offside.
Suarez, but the offside flag is raised. Still no chances, Graham, and we are ticking towards that 10-minute mark.
No, but you're already seeing telling tales of how this game is going to play. When you get to that final third, that's where they're losing possession, and that's when the counter-attack is on. And we've seen from both of these players how they can brutally execute attacks on the counter.
So the early possession actually is from Tiamat, the man from France, the only man to beat Ettorito in the regional finals at Anfield, as Jordi Alba tries to keep possession. This is what we touched on in the PESLeague Live, didn't we, about how they're not rushing things, they're taking their time, keeping possession as the ball gets then played down towards Lionel Messi on this right-hand side, cuts back, lovely skill there. The Argentinian talisman into the area, chips it across. Good defending in the end. That was the first real glimpse of skill there from Tiamat, Graham.
Absolutely beautiful. You were talking about holding up play, then there was the perfectly timed pass as PK. Lovely header out of the box there, but it was the perfectly timed pass, which was then coupled with stopping the play, waiting, beating a man with flair, and then carrying the ball into the box. Still 0-0, but...
Yeah, as things stand, both me and you are wrong. It's not going to be an Ettorito win, and it's not a high-scoring draw, as Iniesta plays it forward towards Luis Suarez. A fantastic challenge there, and Arda Turan plays it through towards the Brazilian Neymar. Lovely ball down the left-hand side, looking for Luis Suarez. Into the area, support in the middle, plays it back. It's in towards Neymar. Iniesta with the left-foot shot, blocked, and it's going to go behind for the first corner of the match. Lightning start here from Tiamat, just trying to get that early goal.
Intelligent move there. You saw the player at the back, I think it was Neymar, ran away from the ball. He didn't want to touch that. He was offside, and he played for the corner.
We are getting a goal flash just to interrupt. We're going to wait, though, as Neymar smashes the ball into the back of the net. And we have the opening goal of the day on the main screen. And it's Tiamat with a sensational volley from just inside the area. He leads one of the favourites of the tournament, Ettorito, by 1-0. Looking for the instant response. And it's a whisker wide of the target. And this game has flown to life, Graham. I'm just going to jump in to myself because there's been 2 goals in the other game. And Joe has taken a 2-0 lead.
See, and that's where we go. We were talking about that unknown nature that the Asian players bring into this tournament.
There has been another goal in that, Graham. It's a goal for Pablo Lionel, so goals going in round the grounds as we speak. It's a tantalising start to this game. I'm not really sure what I was trying to say there as the ball gets played through.
It's because you're shell-shocked.
I am
so
absolutely
much
shell-shocked. It's been a fantastic start here at the PES World Finals here at Arsenal Football Club as Busquets plays it in towards Rakitic. Now plays it on towards Iniesta. Back through towards Rakitic again, but it's good defending in the end from Tiamat, just holding his lead. So the man who defied Ettorito at the regionals is doing it again. Can Ettorito respond, Graham?
He needs to slow things down. I mean, Ettorito plays fast, he plays attacking, but he's rushing it a little bit too much. When I say slow things down, I don't mean play slowly, but just control his game. That's what he needs to do.
There has been an equalising goal in the other game as well. Pablo has got a second, so it's now 2-2. As the game here is 1-0 after just half an hour as Luis Suarez tries to play it around towards Neymar. Still, Ettorito just can't quite get that final ball. Tiamat shutting up shop very early here as the ball gets played through towards Luis Suarez, but it's a sloppy chest control there from the man from Uruguay, and it's cleared away downfield. 30 minutes gone here, and it's 1-0 to Tiamat. As the ball gets played through again, it's another lovely pass. It's Luis Suarez, he's onside, it's Neymar, it drops to Iniesta, and somehow he's put it wide of the target, Graham.
Unbelievable. You thought that was going in, it was dead certainly. You expected the net to ripple there, especially playing the ball across the goal. And how many times have we spoke about PESLeague players playing the percentages? Exactly what he did, and he could have been in again.
Tiamat really should be 2-0 to the good. Will that miss come back to haunt him as Ettorito plays the ball down this right-hand side towards Lionel Messi? The Argentinian talisman cuts inside, in towards Luis Suarez. Lovely touch from the Uruguayan. Shoots goalwards, blocked by the goalkeeper. Neymar can't get near it as there's been a goal in one of the other games as Jose takes the lead against Lutti, the man who won the opening regional finals in Europe. The man from Spain has taken a 1-0 lead against the man from Austria as Rakitic plays it towards Neymar. Back in this game, in towards Sergio Busquets, but cleared away. Graham, Tiamat's defending here has been nothing short of breathtaking.
Oh, that moment just a second ago where Ettorito broke into the box, and as I say that,
kiss
the
at the
same thing again!
A double save from the goalkeeper to deny the man from Italy, and just as we were praising Tiamat's defending, he was cut open like the Sea of Moses.
Absolutely love that metaphor, wonderful. No, but I was just saying, Ettorito was doing everything. That touch just a few minutes ago where Suarez stopped the ball, turned in the box, you expected a goal again, but the defence in this game has been absolutely sensational. I mean, even though Tiamat was relying on his keeper then, his positioning around that was wonderful, building up to it. Just can he hold on?
So half-time here in the first game on the main stage, and it is the man from France, Tiamat, who has a 1-0 lead. Just going back to those cliches that we mentioned, I think we should have a tally going today to see how many smoking cliches we can bring out. Graham, how do you see this second half playing out?
Well, you know, it's a game of two halves. There's a cliche for you. You were talking
I led
about
you into that one, didn't I?
You did. But, I mean, there has to be more goals. I said potentially one in the first 10 minutes, potentially 2 goals in the first half. There's definitely more goals in this. Ettorito has found his feet. He has found his feet, and he looks like he's banging on the door. Just can he get that door open?
So we are underway. It'd be interesting to see the changes that they make as we go towards the latter stages, the 2/3 mark that we talk about quite a lot in this game, the 60, 70-minute mark when a lot changes due to tactics and substitutions. Do you think that's going to be the key to Ettorito getting back into this match, or do you think he can get an early start?
No, that's definitely going to be the key. Early start potentially anyway, but that is a huge deciding factor. Look at the pressure these players are playing. Look, Messi there still charging down a ball. Having that high-intensity attacking play, that takes the toll on the players. So the substitutions, using the right ones at the right time, is key for the championship.
Do you think the prizes at stake for these guys is another factor in how they play? Do you think it's going to phase some of these guys? I know they are the best in the world, but still, when you've got that sort of financial money involved, if to win it or finish second and third, do you think that's going to play a factor?
I think it will as the day goes on. At this point, to use another cliche, as we have a shot excellence there from Ter Stegen, but at this point, to use the cliche, it will literally be take every game as it comes. At this point, it's all about getting an extra goal for both players. So I think
it's a chance here for Ettorito. He's played through towards Lionel Messi on this right-hand side. Good defending again from Tiamat. It's in towards Luis Suarez. A stunning save with the legs from Ter Stegen, as there's been another 2 goals in the other game in this group, and it's a 3-3 barnstormer in the other game, and that's the game you were talking about, high-scoring draw. You just got the wrong game as the ball gets played in towards Sergio Busquets and cleared away towards Vidal. Back in towards Iniesta. Piling on the pressure here. The man from Italy searching for this elusive equaliser as Vidal plays it in towards Iniesta. Turns away from the challenge. Perhaps the shot was a better option. He tried to play it through this tick-attack of football. He's trying to walk it into the back of the net, and it's just not coming off at the moment.
Just couldn't find the pass. Tried 2-3 times, couldn't get the ball through. But the attack is still there. Crucially, though, look at the numbers in defence that Tiamat has. And
here's a chance. So Lionel Messi, Neymar, again, like you mentioned, the numbers defensively. I mean, has Tiamat found this elusive formula to stop the man from Italy?
We were talking about it once again, mentioning the PESLeague live shows that we do bi-weekly. We were talking about how a brute force, blunt strength in defence has kind of unseated, or unseated, should I say?
Unsettled.
Unseated was the word I was going for. But
okay.
Yeah.
Don't correct if you get it wrong. As the ball gets played in towards Lionel Messi, and it's cleared away by Lionel Messi on this right-hand side, actually, as he plays it back towards Vidal. Another ball over the top.
Lovely one, too.
Does he need to make changes, or is he going to keep those power players on the field, do you think, Graham?
I think now it's a case of weather the storm. Like you see, Messi, Alex Vidal, he's practically
here's a chance, though. It's Iniesta. Sorry to interrupt. Every time you start speaking, there's a chance. It's in towards the area. But still, he just can't quite get the shot away, can he, Graham?
No, and it's those numbers in defence. But as we were saying then, Ettorito has numbers in attack. Something has to give, but pushing numbers forward. Look at this, Neymar on the run there.
He potentially might get caught on the counter here. 20 minutes remaining, and it's a real chance here to test him going the other way as the ball gets crossed in. Good defending in the end, but it's back in the danger area. Played through. A second goal now would surely be the winner for Tiamat as we tick into the final almost quarter here. 72 minutes on the clock. Another solid challenge from Tiamat. What a defensive performance this has been from the man from France. Played it through towards Luis Suarez. Back heel, but it didn't quite come off on this occasion. Up towards the halfway line. Does there need to be changes now, Graham? We are ticking into dangerous territory for Ettorito now.
It's a roll of the dice. Both teams, because it's been end-to-end, both teams are getting tired. And at this point, here we have it.
He's listened to us. He's gone to the substitutes bench. Let's be interesting to see who he actually brings on. Arda Turan's looking like he's going to come in.
Suarez. He definitely needs the stamina. Suarez, a lethal finisher. He's going for stamina here. And that's where we're talking about those changes are vital.
So fresh legs for both sides. Trying to see this game out for Tiamat, trying to unlock that door for Ettorito. This is one of the biggest chances of the game for Ettorito. Skips over the challenge. Luis Suarez, surely another incredible last-ditch challenge from the man from France. And this is going to go down, if it stays the same, as one of the greatest defensive performances we've seen at the World Finals.
The rage that Ettorito, well, that I would be feeling if I was Ettorito right now, nothing is paying off for him. There's always another man.
He is trying everything. Hammer and tong he's going at right now, but nothing is unlocking this door from the man from France as the ball gets played down this left-hand side. It's Neymar. Surely now there's one chance, one glimmer of hope for Ettorito to snatch an unlikely equaliser. A cynical challenge there from Tiamat, but the referee plays a good advantage. It's Lionel Messi, lovely skill, round the challenge. It's Arda Turan into the area, and somehow again, another incredible defensive clearance. And time again, he's been there. Now, is there a chance to seal the game on the counter-attack? No, it's Ettorito this time with a good challenge.
That was a sensational run there.
5 minutes plus stoppage time for Ettorito to grab that equaliser, which could be so crucial in the scheme of things in this group. It's in towards the area. Another challenge as we tick. How many minutes are going to be added on, Graham? Not a lot. There's not been many stoppages.
No, just end-to-end in play. Bang, bang.
So the fourth, bang, bang, says Graham, as the fourth official walks.
Getting excited.
As the fourth official walks towards the edge of the technical area. All eyes to see how many minutes will be added on. But Ettorito needs to get the ball back as the ball is down in the corner. He does get it back. There's one last chance for Ettorito to snatch a last gasp equaliser. It's Lionel Messi. Oh, he almost skipped round the challenge, but it's back with the goalkeeper, and it's all over here. And the man from France, who defied the man from Italy in the regional finals at Anfield, has done it again, Graham. 1-0.
Tiamat has Ettorito's number. 2 games, 2 wins for Tiamat, but it is not all over for the Italian yet.